Om Sri Sai Ram. Hearty welcome to Sri Satya Sai Lok Seva Gurukulam online classes. We are discussing about electrical energy. I think all of you are full of energy now. You had nice breakfast or lunch and getting ready to hear the lesson, right? Have a book and pen ready to note down some of the important formulas, units, definitions and so on. Before we come to today's topic, let us just revise or look into the matter what you have studied in the previous class. Electricity and its kinds. There are two types of electric energy. One is called static electricity. Static electricity is one which can be got by rubbing of substances. Other day we have told, suppose you take one comb and rub your hair and bring near the paper pieces. What do you observe? The paper pieces are attracted. And why does it do so? That is because of the electric charges. Who found out it for the first time? It is Benjamin Franklin, who said that there are two types of charges. One is called positive and the other is called negative. And this word current we will use in our daily life so many times. Current has come, current has go. What is this current, we say? What do you mean by current? Current electricity is that it is obtained, it can be felt by the movement of electrons. If the electrons move from one place to another, then we say it is current electricity. Now you are sitting there, na? Suppose you switch on, the light will glow. And if you switch on the fan will rotate. And if you switch on the TV, you can see some programs there. How does it happen? Have you ever thought of it? You may say, I on the switch. Okay. On the switch will not give that light or heat or energy like that. So when you on the switch, what happens is electrons will start moving. And when you say start moving from where to where? We say from higher potential to lower potential, or you can say from positive to negative. But actually electrons move from negative to positive. But if showing in circuit, we say it moves from plus to minus. And also we have seen there are two types of charges, positive charges and negative charges. When you rub a glass rod with silk, glass rod is positively charged. We call that silk as negatively charged. Then a doubt will arise. How does the glass rod get positive charges? And that is because of rubbing. So when a glass rod is rubbed against silk, the electrons from glass rod will move to silk. So after in the end of the rubbing, the glass rod becomes positively charged. Why does it become so? Because electrons from glass rod has moved to silk, and hence the silk will be called as negatively charged because there is excess of electrons. Okay. And also you have studied about Coulomb's law, a very famous law, which says that the force of attraction or repulsion is directly proportional to the product of the charges. Suppose you say Q1, Q2 are the charges. As the quantity of charges increase, force also increases. That is the meaning. And also the law says the force of attraction or repulsion between two charges is inversely proportional to square of the distance. Means what? Inversely means what? When the charges come nearer, the force is more. The charges are far, the force is less. That is the meaning. So combining these two, we get F is equal to K called constant into Q1, Q2 by R square. That is called as Coulomb's law of electrostatic charges. Okay, this is one thing we already studied. And also we studied about electric potential. Potential difference and measurement. What is electric potential? We usually call it as the amount of work done to bring a positive charge from infinity to that point. Suppose this is a positive charge. The work done to bring this charge from one point to another. Work has to be done, right? Suppose I want to lift one substance. Then you have to do work. For example, here is a device called as voltmeter. It is how the measurement is done. Voltmeter, you can see the V here. In your house also, if you read the board, the meter board, you find this V there. So there is an index here. Of course, it is a laboratory type. That's why from 0 to 10 volts only are shown here. This is called positive, this is called negative. And this is to be connected by a wire. Okay, this is what is called as voltmeter. So what does it do? It measures the potential. And what do you mean potential difference? Points. So if you have 2 points A and B, and the work done to bring a positive charge from point A to B, so work done to bring this charge, positive charge from A to B, is called potential difference, measured by the unit called volt. Usually is written as V. V is equal to W by Q. What is W? Work done. What is the unit? Joule. What unit of Q is Coulomb. So 1 volt of potential difference means if 1 joule of work done to bring 1 coulomb of charge from one point to another, that is called as potential difference. This is measured by a device called voltmeter. Voltmeter. This is a device which shows the voltage. In your language you call it as voltage. Today voltage is very high, voltage is very low, we say. So this also we have studied in the previous class. Also very famous, what is called as Ohm's law. What does Ohm's law states? At constant temperature, please learn it 5-10 times, you must repeat, right? At constant temperature, the potential difference between 2 points is directly proportional to the current flowing through the conductor. Can I repeat? At constant temperature, the temperature should be remain constant. The potential difference between 2 points in a conductor is directly proportional to the current flowing through the conductor. And if you remove this proportional sign, you get it as V is equal to Ri. So this I can be written as small also, big also, no problem. And now you should know how to measure it. Voltage is measured, potential difference is measured in terms of volts. And this constant, what is called as resistance, R is equal to V by I. We have worked out some problems also. And how do you measure V? V is measured in terms of volts. How do you measure current? Current is measured in terms of amps, or also called amperes. Again, they are named after the respective scientist. And how do you measure resistance? Resistance is measured by the unit called ohm, like this, also called as omega, Greek constant omega. And in spiritual terms, what does the ohm stand for? Om stands for Pranava. It is a sound that is going on continuously in our heart. And that is a sound which is all pervading. And it is a sound by which the whole universe is in action. And it is said that Om has 3 letters. A, U, Ma. A stands for Brahma, creator. U stands for Vishnu, protector. And Ma stands for Maheshwara or Ishvara. Om stands for combination of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. So, every day morning if you get up early and do some meditation on Om, and Baba says at least 21 times you must chant Om, and if you do that, you will get lot of peace of mind. Okay. Now this is physics Om. It is OHM. So 1 ohm of resistance is defined as, it is a resistance given for 1 amps of current in a potential difference of 1 volt. So if the potential difference is 1 volt and if the current is 1 amps, then the resistance will be called 1 ohm. Okay, it is named after scientist George Simon Ohm. And verification, there is a device for that is called Ohm's law apparatus. Here you see, this is Ohm's law apparatus. Here, this is called terminals. The red one for positive, the black one is called negative, plus and minus. This is called rheostat. What is rheostat? Rheostat is a device of varying resistance. And what is it? V stand for? V stand for voltage or potential difference. What is that? A stand for amps or current. So what is this rheostat? It will help for varying the resistance. Like this it can move. And this is called circuit diagram. This is called switch, on and off. Okay, when you put it on side, the light will come here. That is called power. There is LED bulb here. So first what you do, you have to connect it to the plug point. This is called 2-pin plug. Connect it to the, okay, connect to the point there. And then immediately if you switch on, the light will come here. And then you must go on varying the resistance. As you vary the resistance, the voltage also increases. And so also current, they are directly proportional. As you increase the voltage, current also increases. or if you decrease the voltage, current also decreases. Okay. Then you have to plot in a graph called voltage versus current, and there you find that the resistance becomes a straight line which is fixed. So the ratio becomes the same. So that is all the Ohm's law. It is a world famous law and you are supposed to learn it properly. Okay. Now coming to the next point. And verification means what? You have to take different voltages. As you increase the voltage, current also increases. Okay. Now coming to the home assignment, define the unit of current. You are asked to define it, not name. So what is unit of current? It is ampere. 1 ampere is a current, is defined, 1 ampere of current is the current in a wire in which ampere of current is defined as the current in a wire in which 1 coulomb of charge flows in 1 second. So what is the formula for that? I is equal to, you can write a small I, anything okay, Q by T. Okay, Q by T, where Q stands for the charge and T stands for the time and I stand for the current. How do you measure charge? Charge is measured by coulomb. So if 1 coulomb of charge and then passes for 1 second, then we say the current is 1 amps. So 1 ampere current is the ratio of 1 coulomb of charge per 1 second. Okay, and that is what is called as unit of current, namely ampere. Now second question, name the instrument used to measure current. So the instrument for measuring current is called ammeter. This is called ammeter, where you have written A there, and you can see this one index which moves. So you have to connect it to the circuit. Say cell, you can start with cell will have 1.5 volt, right, and it will have small current in that. So this is positive, this is negative. When you connect it to any of the battery, it shows the current flowing in that, and that is what is called A, amps. Similarly, there is a smaller one. Smaller current can be measured by what is called as galvanometer, written as G. And then potential difference, it is measured by what is called voltmeter. So current in ammeter or small current, we have galvanometer. Again, there are 2 types of galvanometer. One is called tangent galvanometer, another one is called micro galvanometer. So 2 types of galvanometer, and potential difference is measured by voltmeter. Okay. So, and what is the unity measure here? This is voltage V, and here ammeter, what do you measure? Current C. Current you can say I in amps. This in amps, this in volts. Okay. And next question we'll see. Third question. Why is a conductor different from an insulator? So you must know what is a conductor. Conductor has free electrons, whereas insulator has no free electrons. What do you mean free electrons? The electrons which are not bound by the nucleus, which are ready to go out. So now suppose you are sitting in a class now. Teacher is there. Teacher is like a nucleus. You are all seated in a different benches, right? When the bell rings, what happens? Nucleus goes out. Means teacher goes out. Teacher goes out. Naturally, boys or girls who are sitting there will go one by one out. First last bench, then last but one, like that, right? So, why does it move? Because there are free electrons, bell has rung. So, like that, in conductor you have free electrons. Then you may ask, what is the example for the conductors? You have platinum, very good conductor. Then comes silver. Then comes copper, aluminium, etc., etc. They are all called conductors. Insulator means what? They do not allow the electrons to move freely, like rubber, plastic, paper, glass, wood, etc., etc. They do not allow the electrons to move from one place to another. Okay, that is the third question. And the fourth question is, write the potential difference across a wire is doubled. So PD is doubled. How will the following quantity be affected? That is depending on the Ohm's law. One is resistance of the wire. Second is current flowing through the wire. Answer is resistance of the wire remains unaffected. If PD is doubled, resistance does not change and current will be doubled, because current and the potential difference are interrelated. So that's what is called Ohm's law. So when you say that potential difference is doubled, suppose it is V here, if it is doubled, that means 2V, then I also becomes 2I. So it varies as the current. But the ratio of these two will be same, means R. R remains the same, whereas if V increases, I also increase, or vice versa. If I increases, V also increases. That is the meaning. Okay. Now let us come to the today's topic. So far we did the introduction. Coming to today's topic, we will see what is called as resistors. The electrical resistance is the tendency to resist the flow of electric current. And the device, the wire having a desired resistance for use in an electric circuit is called resistor. Okay, it is denoted by the symbol like this. Other day we have shown it, right? So resistor, resistance, okay, resistance box, and which controls resistance, that is called as rheostat. Resistance which allows us to use electricity for light and heat. The light that we receive from electric bulb and heat generated through electric heaters are all because of resistors. So what is resistance? Electrical resistance. Some of you are farmers' children, right? You know, you will have pump set. We just switch on the green button, you press, right? What happens? The water in the well or the pond or whatever it is comes up. It may be canal also. So what happens? The water will come through the pipe. It will go to the different canals we made. And suppose your farm is so big, the water will start moving from one place, one point, right, where the water source is there. And you will be going in the water. But then at some point, there will be one stone on the way in the canal. when the water is flowing. What happens to the water then? The speed of water moving will be stopped. You have very good experience. And sometimes you only put some mud in the middle, the road, in the middle of the canal. So what happens if the mud is put, the direction of water changes. Because you are putting a block. That type of block is called resistance. Suppose X is running fast, and if you put anything in the way, if you block his speed, that is called resistance. Suppose you are going in a bicycle, if you apply the brake, that is resistance. So also the blockage in the electrical terms, they are called resistance, and the device is called resistor, and that is how it is denoted. And what about this bulb and all? Nowadays you find very rarely such type of bulbs. That is called a tungsten filament bulb. There will be a tungsten inside that. So it is used for lighting purpose. When you switch on, the bulb glows, and there heat also comes. After some time the bulb itself gets heated. Even electric heaters also. The resistance will help for producing more heat. Even boilers, heaters, they all work on the principle of resistance. And these are what is called as resistors, used in electrical circuits or electronic circuits. And this is 0.25. What is the symbol here? Ohms. Ohms. Okay. This stands for the resistance. Here it is 0.25 amps, and this is 0.5 amps. This is 1 ohm. Not amps, sorry, it is ohms. 0.25 ohms, 0.5 ohms, 1 ohm, 2 ohm, like that. So here this will show that resistance that is put on the circuit. Okay. So what does it do? By using which the flow of electrons or the flow of current will be reduced. And one more thing we have told you in last class about rheostat. This is also one device which stores about variation of resistance. See here, this is the China clay, the white color one, and this is nichrome wire which has high resistance, and this is what is called as sliding window. It can move from one place to another, and this is a rod, metallic, steel usually. So these are called knobs, positive and negative. Here these nichrome wires are wound against this China clay material cylinder, and here it is allowed to flow like this. This is what is called as rheostat, like this. It is called sliding window. What happens if it is here? The resistance is 0, we call. So if you go on moving like this, resistance will be added. Resistance will be added. So we say resistance is added, the flow of current also will be changed. It puts a block. How does it put a block? Because it is a nichrome wire. Nichrome is a metal which has highest resistance. So this also is a very important device called resistance box. Sorry, rheostat. Similarly, there is one more called resistance box, where it has got knobs showing different types of resistances. Here this is variable. Here measurement cannot be done. So resistance also. So the rheostat will show the variation of resistance. And now these are called resistors that are used in the electrical and electronic circuits. So, and the unit that used is ohms. Ohms. So resistance is a scalar quantity. Its SI unit is ohm. They are named after a scientist called George Simon Ohm. Shortly we call it as ohm, and deci is the symbol. 1 ohm resistance of a wire across which when 1 volt of potential difference is applied. So R is equal to V by I. So we say 1 ohm of resistance means if 1 amps of current passes through 2 points, if 1 volt of potential difference is there, then we call it as 1 ohm resistance. Okay. So 1 volt by 1 amps. So R is equal to V by I. You can use capital I or small I. So here V stands for PD, potential difference, I stand for current, R stand for resistance. Okay. Some 10 to 15 times you must practice because all new terms but very simple, but you have to practice. Okay. Now here we have some higher units also like kilo ohm and mega ohm. 1 kilo means 1000 ohms or 10 to the power of 3 ohms. 1 mega means 10 to the power of 6 ohms. So these are the higher units of resistances. So in an electric circuit, a device called rheostat is often used. Just now I shown it to change the resistance in the circuit. So to vary the resistances, we use rheostat. Note the spelling, R-H-E-O-S-T-A-T, rheostat. One more is there, that is called resistance box, which you are going to study next in PU. Resistance box. What is the difference between rheostat and resistance box? In resistance box, you will have resistances like a definite unit, like 1 ohm, you have 2 ohms, then like that 5 ohms, 10 ohms, etc. Definite measurement is there. Whereas in rheostat, you don't have a definite measurement, only variation will be there. So whereas a variation in resistance is there, current also varies. Okay. And now we will see some problems on this. First one, how much current will an electric bulb draw a 220 volt source if the resistance of the bulb is 1200 ohms? First question. Second question is, we come to that afterwards. So in first question, PD is given 220 volts, and then PD means potential difference. Resistance R is given as 1200 ohms. So current drawn, how much current they are asking? So current drawn by electric bulb is equal to I is equal to V by R, 220 by 1200, that comes to 0.18 amps. Amps means what? Amperes. So that stands for current. Here you can use small I also, capital I also, no problem. Second question, how much current will an electric heater? Here it is bulb. When you say bulb means filament bulb, tungsten bulb. Nowadays all are replaced by LED bulbs. What do you mean LED? Light emitting diode. So that is called LED. Nowadays you don't find this electric bulb anywhere. But in the olden days it was there. And also electric heater. Nowadays we get what is called as geysers. So electric heater, there will be a coil and that will have 220 volts, and resistance of the coil is, heater is 100 ohms. So what is the current they are asking? So I is equal to current drawn, I is equal to V by R. V is 220, R is 100. 220 by 100 becomes 2.2 amps. And look at the change here. Bulb is 0.18 only, whereas heater it is 2.2. Therefore, be careful. How many know ironing? Ironing of clothes. Yeah, that is about 1000 watts. And this is about, still more. So, you must be careful when you have a heater coil. You should not put your finger into the water. And you must stand on the wooden plank, or you must have slippers. Even while ironing also, you must be careful. If it gives a shock, means it is very dangerous. Okay. So, why that the iron box has so much current? That is because it has got a resistance. Inside there will be a coil, and the coil will have more resistance. Okay. Now there is a question. A current of 0.5 amps is next question. So is drawn by a filament of an electric bulb for fifth part of an hour. Find the amount of electric charge that flows through the circuit. So current given, current is 0.5 amps. Here I stand for current. And unit is amps. 10 times you must tell. I current amps. V potential difference volts. R resistance ohms. Like that you must make a list. And also formulas. Ohm's law formula, current formula. Like that you must list formulas also. Then only you can answer the problems. T is 1/5, fifth part of an hour. 1/5 of an hour means 1 hour is equal to how many minutes? 60 minutes. So 1/5 into 60, that is 12 minutes. 1 minute means how many seconds? 60 seconds. 12 into 60, 720 seconds. Always these problems should be worked out in terms of seconds. That is the SI unit. And Q is equal to I into T. I is 0.5, T is 720. So answer is 360 coulombs. The unit of charge. Coming to next question. So answer is amount of electric charge that flows through the circuit is equal to 360 coulombs. Is it alright? Don't forget the formula. First you must read the question. You should see what is given. Then you apply the correct formula. Here the formula you should select out of the 3 formulas what you have studied. You must select that formula. Okay. Now coming to the next combination of resistors. It's a very important, interesting formula is here. So let us think of 3. In an electric circuit, resistors can be connected in 2 different ways. When the resistance can be kept in the series formation. So they are in the same line. When 2 or more resistors can be combined end to end consecutively. So this is called end to end. Another way is 2 or more resistors can be connected between the same 2 points. So they are in parallel. Now let us see in detail about that. And see, this is a very important derivation. There are 2 derivations. Means you must prove by step. Here there are 3 resistances. This symbol stands for resistances. Other day we have shown it. No? So R1, R2, R3. How they are connected? They are connected in series. This is called series. And each resistor is connected to a voltmeter. Please note the spelling. Voltmeter is different from voltameter. This is voltmeter, which measures potential difference. So it is always kept in a parallel to the resistors. So here is one voltmeter, 1, 2, 3. There is no limit. You can keep any number of resistors. Okay, here for practical purpose you have taken 3. And P and Q are the 2 points of a conductor. And what is this represents? This is battery, what you call. How does the battery difference from cell? In cell you have only one, positive and negative, then we call it as cell. The long line represents plus, the small line represents minus. This is called cell. In your language we call it as in the torch cell. If there are a number of cells, we call it as battery. We usually call it as B. B stands for battery, K for switch. What does switch do? Switch will show off and on. This is the type of switch what you use. Here, this is a knob and this is a here. Suppose you close it like this, then the current will pass through this. Suppose you open it like this, then there will be no flow of current. So this is what the switch stand for. And these are the terminals. Here you have to connect the wires, and always mind it, while connecting wires, it must be strong. See, there should not be any loose connection. You must tightly do it. Please note, in electric circuits, it should be tightly fixed. Okay, that is what is called switch K. And what is the A stand for? Ammeter. I will repeat once again. V stand for voltmeter, R1, R2, R3 stand for resistances, and B stand for battery, K stand for switch, off and on, A stand for ammeter. And what is this I stand for? I stand for current. So this is a setup of the apparatus. Here what you are going to do? We are finding the effective resistance. So here while showing this long line represent plus, short line represent minus. Actually electrons will move from minus to plus. By showing in circuit, you show it as plus to minus. Okay, this is the direction of current. Now let us work out how does it work. So series combination, we have in a circuit 3 resistors are connected in series with a cell and an ammeter. We will note that due to one path the same current will flow through all of them. Same current I flows through them. At PD, potential difference between the ends resistors R1, R2, R3 are respectively V1, V2, V3. You saw it. And how do you measure it? It is by means of voltmeters. By Ohm's law, potential difference across each resistor V1 is equal to IR1, V2 is equal to IR2, V3 is equal to IR3. So this is equation number 1 by Ohm's law. Now if the potential difference between P and Q be V, it is called standard voltage, then V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. And what you are going to find out? We are going to find out the equivalent resistance. Instead of writing 3 or 4 or 5 resistors separately, if you want to find out a equivalent one, that is what you do it. So V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. What is V1? As per equation 1, it is IR1. What is V2? IR2. And what is V3? IR3. So IR1, IR2, IR3, where I stand for current. What is common in that? Common is I taken out, R1, R2, R3. So R1 plus R2 plus R3, that is equation number 2. Okay, now let us find out the final formula. And the final formula is total or equivalent resistance between P and Q is RS. Then potential difference between V is equal to IRS. That is third equation. Equation 2 and 3. And instead of V, we are writing IRS. because V is equal to IRS. So total voltage is replaced by IRS. R1 plus R2 plus R3. They are individual resistances. So RS is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So what does it represent? The equivalent resistor RS is equal to sum of their individual resistances. So that is a very, very important formula. Okay. To give an example, suppose there are three resistors, say 2 ohm, 3 ohm and 4 ohm are connected in a series. Then total resistance will be 2 plus 3 plus 4, that is 9 ohms. That is what is called as R. And it happens only in the case of series connection. And we will see some other interesting item about this. And before that, we will work out one simple problem. What is the equivalent resistance that can be secured by combination of coils of resistances 4 ohm, 8 ohm, 12 ohm and 24 ohm. So R1 4, R2 8 ohm, R3 12, R4 24 ohm. So total equivalent resistance R is equal to, by the formula RS, R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R4, there are 4 1. So R1 is 4, R2 is 8, R3 is 12 and R4 is 24. Add all this, you get 48 ohms. What is the answer? Equivalent resistance is equal to 48 ohms. In the case of series connection, please note it. And let us see some home assignment. First question, define the SI unit of resistance. How is volt related to ohm and ampere? How can three resistors of resistance 2 ohm, 3 ohm and 6 ohm be connected to give a total resistance of 11 ohm? How to get 11? That is asking. And lastly, on what factor does the resistance of a conductor depends? So these are the home assignment. Come prepared. Thank you.